Hi guys, Ultrakool here, bringing you a PVE speedrun replay by Die2Play on the map The Treasure Fleet.
Make sure they reach the evacuation zone in the northeast.
So right then he summoned the Amazon near his makeshift tower and destroys one for the extra void power. And let's see what he's up to. He's running his Amazon up, maybe trying to use her ability to do something. So I'm just looking through the camps that look like something she'd want to take. But I wonder what he has up his sleeves. Oh, so he built a tunnel, meanwhile, and another one here, so he must be trying to transport something back? Trying to lose his own wagon, maybe? That would be really creative. And he does so, okay. Let's see. The unit positioning here is very important, that you have to position the Fathom Lord, or the enemy PVE, I think it's called a Lost Horror. He's moving around so further enough from the orb so that it doesn't attack the orb after it kills the wagon, but also that you don't put it in between the two wagons, otherwise it'll destroy both wagons, and then you'll either need to summon an extra unit to kill it off, or you're going to lose the game. So he mounts an attack on the small base east to the starting orbs, using Hurricane in support to blow the units back while his Windweavers deal the damage. So this is pretty standard. I mean, if you don't have Hurricane, then I guess you'll need to use Ensnaring Roots, but that's not as good because there are archers in the back as well. Right there, so because of his positioning, the Twilight Horror doesn't attack anything else other than that. Just stays still there. So he immediately builds an orb, and he goes Frost, I think. Right, so the first wagon's already gone.
Your forces are under attack. The first wagon is away.
And because he destroyed the first wagon, the game thinks that he destroyed the first wagon, got destroyed, so the next wagon is already going to go in 15 seconds. So there are going to be two wagons going at the same time, and he has to protect both of them. So there are Frost Orb. As soon as he got it up, he built two cannon towers for defense, as there are units coming from the north and also from the east out of that spawn point.
The next wagon is on its way.
And he goes to the south camp and also clears that out for the two power wells. And here comes the first enemies. Two archers with his three windweavers. So there the cannon towers doing a good job of supporting their defense. One thing to note here is the wagon actually knocks them back, so it's pretty useful to know. More units are incoming, and he always has to keep on the move to stay ahead of these units. Otherwise the wagons will take too much damage. Now he can't afford to lose any more wagons because he did it purposely so that the game ends earlier.
Your forces are under attack.
And also so that both wagons can be on the way at the same time. I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. It seems to me like it could be a bug, because I don't think the game's designed for both wagons to be on the move at the same time. There are those camps coming from north, and Cannon Tower does a perfect job of destroying them. So it doesn't look too bad. His wagon has took some damage, but it's minuscule. But now he has to have the tough job of always staying ahead, so now he's a little behind his wagon and more enemies are coming all the way from the top. And the wagon's gonna take heavy damage here, looks like. He uses Hurricane to prevent the units from attacking the wagon, and uses the Windweavers to take them out. I think he should somehow try to CC and try to stay ahead of his wagon. That's the most important thing. And if it gets too bad with too much damage from the creatures, then he could oink. So he had to do another route to stay ahead of the wagon, and he's almost ignoring those units. So more units are coming from the north and attacking his second orb. And here we have some units that deal rage, so he oinks them. And he uses Matter Mastery. I think it's the purple affinity on the tower. That means he's gonna have it permanently. And that tower is gonna help to CC some enemy units so that he can get through. I think it's pretty amazing that these towers and Fathom Lords are considered second orb, because they would normally be tier 3 if you had them as a card, because Fathom Lord is tier 3. But so that's why the strategy works, because you can swap your Amazon for a tier 3 Fathom Lord enemy. Lost Horror, right? And the Twilight Bombard, I think, is also tier 2, so I think he's gonna use that as well. So yeah, his first wagon looked like it suffered about 1/4 damage or so. There the Twilight Creep comes and destroys his tower, probably. So he took Windweaver in defense. There, so he used a Matter Mastery on the Twilight Bombard as well. Is it too far to attack the Fathom Lord? Okay, I think he could have microed a little better there to attack the enemy Fathom Lord, I just call him. Or that thing. I don't think that's Lost Horror, but it's another enemy Sunderer. I don't know what it's called. So yeah. And he clears the way for the first wagon. Well, it looks like he didn't really have to clear the way for the second wagon. I mean, there wasn't a different enemy attacking the second wagon, and if you just stay ahead of the first wagon, the second wagon should be naturally protected. It doesn't look like there are some enemies of its own. So it looks like he's having some trouble there at the second orb, defending that, after the Twilight Creeper took out his tower, and this one looks like it's gonna go down too. So let's see how he holds up. There he summons Windweavers, and his orb is taking heavy damage, 50% left. But the 2 wagons are safe, so the next 2 will be underway in 1 minute. 1 minute 30 seconds or something. So now he should focus on defending this second orb. Now those are problematic as well, because if you remember before, the 2 towers he placed there took them both out. So it took the camps coming from the north, and also those spawning from the east, and now these armies are all going to go for a second orb. So let's see if he can save his second orb here. But before he does that, he builds up the orb in the northeast and the army monument. And there he uses Thunderstorm spell instead of spawning more units to try to save his second orb. Army monument, and you see Furnace of Flesh, which he's gonna use to recycle all those void power, 467 void power that he has there, and he's gonna use those to basically get more power, even though he only has 4 or 5 power wells, 6 power wells, right? So those Cultist Masters as defense to spawn the Nightcrawlers. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Maybe he might be better off just building some towers or something. There he's using the Nightcrawlers to sacrifice from the Cultist Master, and every time the Nightcrawler dies, a percentage of its former life points are going to be added back to the usable pool. from the void pool. And you see he summoned his first Lost Spirit ship. There, right, so he builds a Necroblaster fed with Nightcrawlers as defense. And you can see his void power dropped dramatically from about 400 to 100 and now 50. I think this was before the nerf that you could kill your own Nightcrawler summoned from the Cultist Master. Now it'll take a longer time to do this void power trick because you can't kill it manually with the Cultist Master anymore. They nerfed it sometime. And we got some slavers coming in, which can deal big damage to the gold wagon should they be killed close to the gold wagon. You can see, yeah, their explosion dealt massive damage to the gold wagon. And he's trying somehow with this lone Lost Spirit ship to take out this camp, but it doesn't really look like it's needed. And this camp doesn't attack, so I don't know why he's doing that. Could have been just a misclick or something. Misplay. Yeah, so he's just using Lost Spirit ships to kill these monsters. I think it should be usable, done with the T3 as well if you don't have the Ami Monument. I mean, the longer time you take, the more strong enemies get. So with those PVE Sunderers and Slavers, you should be able to use T3 medium counters. Maybe Swift as well to counter them. And also a lot of small medium units. You didn't really need Lost Spirit ship, but I mean, he had Ami Monument anyway, so there was no point in taking the risk and using T3. But I think it should definitely be possible. So yeah, he's just clearing the way for his wagons. And you can see that the second wagon now has some armies attacking it by itself, so he has to have one Lost Spirit ship with each wagon. See massive swarms of small units and medium units here, and one large unit. I mean, Lost Spirit ship is not ideal. Oh, it's pretty ideal because it deals medium damage. But it would be nice to have some kind of S counter or something to quicken that up. But it's good that it's a medium unit so it can kill them slavers before. So now even with 2 Lost Spirit ships, he's having some trouble dealing enough damage to kill the units before it attacks the gold wagon there. So the gold wagon lost more than half health. So you can see that it was harder to protect these last wagons than it was to protect the first wagon. I think he should or could have used CC and had a fast unit as ground presence to avoid the wagons taking so much damage and being so low on health. So here, up to 4 slavers, I think that's just dealing a huge chunk of the damage. And he has to multitask quite a bit, so moving his units and always recycling the power by using the Cultist Master's ability, both at the Necroblaster and at his second base in the northeast there. So this replay is almost coming to an end, and it was a very, very creative strategy that he used that destroyed his own wagon to achieve the objectives. The objective in this game is to rescue 4 gold wagons, and the faster that happens, the faster you win. So by doing that, it triggered a bug in the game or so, and that's how he did it, so that both wagons went at the same time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next videos.